I agree. Moving on to the next segment, the news. Jim Harbaugh, obviously the big news, taking the head coaching job for the Los Angeles Chargers. This saving chaos theory continues really here.
Yeah.
Stuff's just getting crazy around college football.
Saving chaos theory number 3. Rise
Yeah.
of Sharon Moore, who's been named the new
Yeah.
Michigan head coach.
That's definitely a pick.
It's a weird pick. I say it's weird because personally, I don't know after how he coached the Michigan-Ohio State game if I would actually want him as my head coach. Because he was coaching not to lose that game. He wasn't coaching to win. He was coaching not to lose. And who knows, maybe everything is changed now. Maybe now that he is legit the head coach, they're like, okay. Like, he's like, okay, I can do this. And something clicks, right? But I'm kind of scared of the play calling. On the other hand, though, it's like, this is a guy, they're keeping the culture there. You're hiring from within. Hell of an O-line coach. From what I've heard. So I think it was a smart hire. I think it was also a safe hire. So they keep the culture. Now, granted, you also have to deal with Harbaugh poaching from the staff. He's already taken the head strength and conditioning coach over to the Chargers with him, and I wouldn't be shocked if they've lost more coaches to go to the Chargers with him. I think he's taken a defensive coach or two as well. So, like I said, I wouldn't be shocked. That's going to be Sharon Moore's first big test, is how he's going to handle his staff getting poached.
Yeah. Honestly, I hate the hire. He seems like they just went with the safe pick. You could have went and got Chip Kelly, you could have went and got somebody, but you stick with Sharon Moore. I get, like I said, being the safe pick. You keep the culture the same. But with the problems that they've had this year with investigations and whatnot that still aren't closed, do you really want to keep the same culture? Is really my question, because you don't even know. And that might be a reason why they had to go with Sharon Moore. Maybe nobody wants to touch Michigan right now because everything's up in the air over there.
Yeah.
If you're Chip Kelly and you take this Michigan job and then a couple months from now, you lose a bunch of scholarships and you lose this and you lose that, and now you're handicapped for the next 4 years.
Ban or something like that.
Yeah, like you're just handicapped at that point. So maybe they didn't really have an option other than Sharon Moore. I just don't love the hire. It seems like such a step down from Jim Harbaugh to Sharon Moore, especially with what was out there.
Yeah, I get it. I do. It's kind of like hiring Dan Quinn as your head coach. Oh wait, the Commanders just did that.
Yeah. Ugh. Speaking of another coaching hire that I don't like, though, God, Alex Grinch has been hired as the defensive coordinator for Wisconsin. Why? You've just seen what happened with USC. And Lincoln Riley, who has protected this man like he was his own son for so long, finally went, you know what? Forget it. You're gone. And Wisconsin goes, oh, we'll take him. What? That is the worst defensive coordinator in college football, in my humble opinion.
I want to throw this out there real quick. I'm willing to give him a shot, right? I'm willing to give him 2 years at Wisconsin. Solely to see if it was a Grinch problem or if Lincoln Riley just sucked at recruiting actual defensive talent.
It's possible, but
we don't know. That's just it. But you also can't make the argument that the defense is now granted, He was defense coordinator over at Oklahoma while Riley was there. He was defense coordinator over at USC while Riley was there. So, like I said, I'm willing to see what Alex Grinch does under a different head coach to see if that was a Riley problem or if Grinch is actually that bad of a play caller. Because I like Fickle as a head coach better than I do Riley.
I agree, but I mean, when you look at it, right? I mean, Lincoln Riley went and got Bear Alexander from Georgia, who's a stud. Might have a attitude problem. We don't spread rumors here. It's all rumors. But he might have attitude problems, but kid's a stud defensively on the field.
We'll just wait. We'll just wait for that. And agreed, he is a stud on the field. But when it comes to that rumors thing, we'll just wait till that that interview with Cedric Van Pran, Ranger. You know.
Yeah.
And maybe one day he'll spill the beans on what supposedly happened in the weight room that day.
Right. It just like I said, though, I mean, Lincoln Riley's gotten dudes like that before. So, I mean, that's the only dude he's gotten. But his time, hell, that defense had Corey Foreman, who was #1 player coming out of high school. You had Bear Alexander, who was one of the top players coming out of high school. I mean, it had talent on that defense. I mean, they had Damani Jackson, one of the top corners coming out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like there was no development. Yeah, now they're all gone. But it's like there was no development. But again, is that an Alex Grinch not developing them? Is that overall just the program not developing? Who knows? But I just think Alex Grinch isn't a good defensive coordinator. But, I mean, we can give him a couple years. I'd give him 1 year, really. I mean, if Wisconsin's defense is as bad as USC's was this year,
So the whole thing is they're probably fixing to go through a style change, right? Like that defensive front's probably going to get changed from how they're used to.
That's true.
Possibly. I don't know what Wisconsin has run over the past few years.
I don't know.
And I don't know what Grinch runs either, because I didn't want to watch any USC things to see what front that defense was.
I can tell you what Grinch runs. It's called awful. Right?
Oh, no.
It's called awful. All right?
Whatever.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He can run whatever he wants. It's awful. It's what it was at USC. It doesn't matter. He could be running 3-4, 4-3, 3-2, 4-2-5, 3-3-5. It didn't matter. He was awful.
Yeah.
So maybe he'll be good at Wisconsin. Maybe it was Lincoln Riley's fault, but
maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. We will see.